7 p.m. via WebEx. The prayer will be offered by Deputy City Clerk Nicole Reyes, and Alderman Cleaver will lead us in the pledge to the flag.
In the serious duty to manage the affairs of our beloved city. Fill us, O God, with a spirit of unity and understanding, which enables us to face our multiple problems with a serene mind, with justice and charity for all, so that any and all decisions made by us will always be for the betterment and greater happiness of all our fellow citizens. So help us, God. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag
of the United States of America, the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
Under God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice
for all.
for all.
Okay, as President of the Board of Aldermen, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-4, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. To access WebEx, please refer to the agenda or the city's website for the meeting link. Joined by telephone, dial 1-408-418-9388, and the meeting number access code is 712-962-326. If for some reason you cannot connect to WebEx, please contact us at 603-821-2049, and they will help you with connectivity. The public may also view the meeting via channel 16. We have provided public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting through public postings. Instructions have also been provided on the City of Nashua's website at nashuanh.gov and publicly noticed at City Hall, Public Health Department, and in the Nashua Telegraph. We have provided a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with access. If anyone has a problem accessing the meeting via phone or channel 16, please call 603-821-2049 and they will help you connect. Adjourning the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event that the public is unable to access the meeting via the methods mentioned above, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. Please indicate whether you can hear us and why you aren't able to meet in person. The clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman O'Brien.
I am present. I can hear the proceedings. I am alone, and I'm following the governor's guidelines of social distancing.
Alderman Clee. Alderwoman Kelly.
I'm here. I am alone. I can hear everyone, and I am practicing social distancing per the governor's order.
Alderman Dowd.
Yes, I am present and I am here alone. I can hear everyone and I'm practicing social distancing in accordance with the government's directive.
Alderman Karen.
She won't be joining us either.
Alderman Clemmons.
Yes, I am here. I am by myself. I can hear everyone, and I am at home per the governor's wishes.
Alderman Lopez. Alderman Tenza.
I am present. I can hear everybody. I'm alone. I am here because I'm practicing social distancing and because there's no other physical location for the meeting.
Alderwoman Lou. Alderman Lou.
Sorry. I'm here by myself and I can hear you. I'm practicing social distancing for the governor's orders.
Alderman Jettie.
I'm here, I'm alone, and I'm obeying the governor's order to stay home.
Alderman Schmidt.
I'm present. I can hear the proceedings. I am alone and I am at home for the emergency order.
Alderman Laws.
I'm present. I can hear you. I'm alone, and I am also following the governor's order to social distance.
Alderman Cleaver.
I'm present, I'm alone, and I'm following social distance.
Alderman Harriet Gathright.
I'm present, I can hear you, I'm alone, and I'm practicing social distancing.
Alderman Wilshire.
I'm here, I'm alone, and I am practicing social distancing. I did hear from Alderman Clee and Alderman Karen that they could not join us this evening.
12 present, 3 not present.
Thank you. As is customary, I will turn over the meeting to the chairman of the Planning and Economic Development Committee, Alderman Tenza.
Thank you, Madam President. The purpose of tonight's special Board of Aldermen meeting is to hold a public hearing on two pieces of legislation. The first is O-2012, amending the zoning map by rezoning land off of Tinker Road from rural residents R40 to B suburban residents R18, and 0-2013, amending the zoning map by rezoning land off of Amherst Street from Park Industrial to Industrial with Mixed-Use Overlay District. I notice that Attorney Prunier is joining us tonight. Attorney Prunier, will you be presenting on this ordinance, on both of these ordinances, or will someone else?
Both of the ordinances I will be presenting. I am here at the office alone.
Okay, so the way we will I'll have you just describe both ordinances, and then we will do the public hearing separate for each.
Let me take the first one, which is the one off of Amherst Street, which is a continuation of the ordinance that was passed approximately over a year ago that zoned this area Park Industrial MU. They, at that time, should have gone from further. They only went up to Deerwood Drive. They should have gone all the way to State Street, because the properties that are in between Dumaine Avenue and State Street are all in the same area, the same type of property, and they're the same type that want to be developed according to the types that have. And the PIMU classification allows the developer to use the property and the people that own the property in a good fashion, and allows the city to help do it, because the city is involved in the zoning when it comes up to the planning board. So it's just a continuation. It's the same type zoning, and it would continue the same type zoning for the people in that particular ward. The one off of Tinker Road is it's surrounded by various zoning classifications from Park Industrial, R18, RC, R9, so forth. Usually the R40 is used when there is no water or sewage, because they need a large lot in order to put a septic tank and put a well in. At this point, water and sewer is at the site, and that's why it's being proposed to deliver it to zone it R18. Both of these ordinances were discussed with Sarah Marchand, with the planning staff, and at the planning board, and all are in favor, as far as I know.
Thank you. Attorney Prunier. Does anyone have questions for Attorney Prunier?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, Alderman Clemens.
Thank you. Are these changes being proposed because of potential future development on those in that area?
They will be, I assume, future development. There is some that's already proposed for the Amherst Street property, and which is multifamily housing in that particular area. And this, Tinker Road would probably be single-family housing because R18 is only single-family housing.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will move into the public session. Sorry, is someone trying to get my? No.
I'm sorry. You should have in your file a communications from the planning board supporting these two zoning. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And those communications are in the packet with the Planning and Economic Development Committee if anyone is interested in those. So at this point, I will open the public hearing for 02012, amending zoning map by rezoning the land off of Tinker Road from rural residents R40 to B suburban residents R18. Would anybody like to offer testimony in favor of the ordinance? Okay, speaking none, is call for testimony in opposition of the ordinance. Again, seeing and hearing none, I'll call for testimony in favor of 02012.
So Alderman Tenza?
Yes, Attorney Jettie, Alderman Jettie, excuse me.
This is a public hearing, and I noticed that there are no members of the public that I can see on the participant list. And I'm assuming that means that nobody from the public wants to testify in favor or against this. I just want to check with Mr. McLean that's the case, that there's nobody that's trying to get in that isn't able to.
That is correct. Nobody has called me or contacted me as the alternate number to request that be done.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So just for clarification, I will one last time call for testimony in opposition of 02012. Okay, again, both hearing and seeing none, I will close the public hearing as relates to 020-12 and open the public hearing as it relates to 020-13, amending the zoning map by rezoning land off of Amherst Street from Park Industrial to Park Industrial with Mixed Use Overlay District. Again, I'll call for testimony in favor of 02013. Hearing and seeing none, I will call for testimony in opposition to 02013. Again, hearing and seeing none, I'll call for testimony in favor again of 02013. And hearing and seeing none, I'll call for testimony in opposition of 02013. Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will close the public hearing on 02013. I'll call on Alderman O'Brien for a motion, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make a motion to adjourn by roll call.
Motion is to adjourn by roll call. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman O'Brien.
Yes.
Alderman Clee. Alderwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Dowd.
Yes.
Alderman Karen. Alderman Clemens.
Yeah.
Alderman Lopez. Alderman Tenza.
Yes.
Alderwoman Lou.
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Alderman Schmidt,
Yes.
Alderman Laws,
Yes.
Alderman Cleaver,
Yes.
Alderman Harriet Gathright,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
12 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. The public hearing is adjourned. And so we'll just take two quick minutes for anyone who wants to jump off, and then we'll start the PEDC meeting.
I know.
Bye.
Take the roll and everything? Yeah. Should be all right. All right, I'm back. Talk to you then. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll call a meeting of the Planning Economic Development Committee to order at on June 16th, Tuesday, June 16th at 7:18 via teleconference. As chairman of the Planning and Economic Development Committee, I find that due to the state of the emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12 pursuant to executive order 20-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which is authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are providing access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. To access WebEx, please refer to the city's agenda or the city's website for a meeting link. To join by phone, please dial 1-408-418-9388 with a meeting number access code of 712-962-326. Be that we're providing public notice of the necessary information for accessing this meeting. We previously gave notice to the public of necessary information for accessing the meeting through public postings. Instructions have also been provided to the City of Nashua website at Nashua at www.nashuanh.gov and publicly noticed at City Hall and Public Health Department. See that we're providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with access. If anybody has a problem accessing the meeting via phone or channel 16, please call 603-821-2049 and they will help connect you. D, adjourning the meeting, the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting via the methods mentioned above, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. Alderman Laws, can you please call the roll and ask the person to state the reason that they cannot attend, confirm that they can hear the proceedings, and state who is present with him or her.
Thank you, Chairman. Alderman at Large David Tenza.
Present, I can hear everyone, and I'm alone, and I'm staying home per the governor's orders.
Alderman Jan Schmidt.
I'm present. I can hear everyone. I am at home alone for the emergency order.
Alderman Tom Lopez. Alderman at Large Ben Clemens.
Thank you. I'm here. I'm alone. I can hear everybody, and I'm at home per the governor order.
And Alderman at Large Brandon Laws. I am here. I am alone. I can hear everyone, and I am following the governor's order as well. Chairman, we have 4 members present, 1 member not present.
Thank you. Communications, we have a communication from Linda McGee, Deputy Planning Manager, regarding the referral from the Board of Aldermen on Proposal 0-2012, amending the zoning map by rezoning the land off of Tinker Road from rural residence R40 to be suburban resident R18. There being no objection, I'm going to accept the communication and place it on file. Second, we have a communication from Linda McGee, Deputy Planning Manager, regarding the referral from the Board of Aldermen on proposed 0-2013, amending the zoning map by rezoning the land off of Amherst Street from Park Industrial to Park Industrial with mixed-use overlay district. Again, there being no objection, I will accept the communication and place it on file. There is no unfinished business. There are no business resolutions. The first order of business in front of us is 0-2012. Which we just heard about, amending the zoning map by rezoning the land off of Tinker Road from rural residents R40 to be suburban residents. Alderman Laws, would you like to make a motion?
Alderman Tenza, there's some other aldermen in the meeting as well, for the record.
Thank you, Alderman Dowd. So also with us, we have Alderman Dowd is with us. Alderman Lou, and is Alderman Jettie still here?
Don't see him.
Okay.
O'Brien's here, though.
Alderman O'Brien.
And Alderman O'Brien. I apologize.
That's fine, all right.
Alderman Cleaver is on board.
Thank you, Alderman Cleaver. So we just heard from Attorney, Alderman Laws, is there a motion on 0-2012? Or anyone on the committee anyone like to make a motion regarding 0-2012?
Did you not hear me?
No, I could not hear you, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm making a motion for final passage of 0-2012 by roll call.
Okay, the motion is for final passage by roll call. Any discussion on the motion? Alderman Dowd.
Yeah, I just wanted to state that we've been looking at this piece of legislation for quite some time. Sarah Marchand and I, Director Marchand and I had meetings on this before the pandemic, and she's in favor of it. So I would recommend that we pass this.
Alderman Tenza, or Chairman Tenza.
Alderman Laws.
I see that there is a member from Community Development present at the meeting. Is that Sarah Marchand? I'll just go ahead and assume no. All right, I was just going to see if she wanted to add anything to it, but that's all.
Okay. I think that was her opportunity to identify themselves.
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Yeah. Attorney Prunio, can I just ask a clarifying question, or to Attorney Prunio or Alderman Dowd? And basically, this change will make it easier to develop more single-family houses on these pieces of land rather than, limit them to the zoning requirements of the suburban, of the rural R40 zones, correct?
That's correct. They will be able to do it under R18 if it's passed, which is still a very large lot for the city of Nashville.
Yeah, it's more in line with what the zoning calls for.
Sure. Can I ask, just generally, do you know how many additional houses they'd be able to build on these, on this land if they chose to?
I don't know. It'd be more. It would probably be R18 or 40. Could be almost up to twice as much. But they're still very large lots.
Okay, thank you. Any additional questions? Alderman Lowe.
Thank you. I wonder when we rezone lots of sections of the city like this, what is the initiating factor? Is it, did this initiative come from the city or did it come from interested parties? I don't know if you can hear me because there's a lot of noise on my line.
I know you're talking, but I can't.
All the time. Was this, who initiated this? Is it the city looking to plan?
Usually it's the landowner.
Available?
Usually it's the landowner that does it. And usually there has to be some change. Like in this instance, at the time that it was zoned, 40, there was no water sewer. Now water and sewer brought to the site. So that's why they need a septic system. They don't need a well. They have public water and sewer.
Okay. And just to follow up, did you say that the city owns a large lot in this area that they'd be able to develop as well?
No, I don't know if the city owns a large lot in this area. I don't think so.
Okay, no. I thought I heard you say that, but I couldn't hear you very well.
Well, if I said it, I was wrong because it doesn't.
I can tell you that's a no.
Anything further, Alderwoman Lou? Any further? Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With the noise here, just for a second, I just wonder if Attorney Prunier, if he can mute, to the chairman, if he can mute when he's not talking. It's showing up that it's live on your microphone. And I just wondered if that might be part of the conflict of the noise. But I'd like to take this opportunity to say that I totally support this project. However, 32 years ago, the city of Nashville embarked on a high approach study to look at certain areas within the city. Now, this has nothing to do with the development, and I want to clearly say it has nothing to do with the current firefighters contract. But yet, as we look at the words that were put out by Fire Chief Rhodes, where he cannot service the opioid epidemic because of the amount of time per call, and he's guided with the 15-minute limit, that it takes away from the emergency response. Well, if you look at the geography of the city, and if we look at the run statistics, and particularly with the Fire Pro report, the 2001 report, this is the area that they're exactly talking about. And as what Attorney Cronier said, at one time, nobody really worried about it because there was additional development done earlier that put in water and sewer, and now this area has become attractive. So my comments are not against the development of this property. It comes with the usual caveats that right now we need to take a look. We have a pending study that is coming in to looking at the fire department needs and wants. But the target is to get fire apparatus up there within 4 minutes. That is quite a feat in that area. When you look at one engine company will be coming from the airport station on Pine Hill Road, have to go up Sharon Ave, down Amherst Street, and to perhaps cut up Thornton Road to get to that particular development. The other thing is to take a look at the the first two companies would be the one that is located at Amherst Street. Amherst Street will have to travel up Manchester Street. Still quite a distance, those that are familiar with the city, to get from Amherst Street to the Tinker Road area. One can say, well, geez, let's look at it. National Fire Rescue has had recently a very increase for the last several years, increase in call volume. So it is therefore, we've had much more development. We've had 34 Front Street. We had other places within the city that have been recently developed. We can't go shifting or cutting an engine company. I talked with the fire chief. You can't split engines and ladder companies. Basically, it's got to entail. And you've got to remember that the city of Nashua at one time, this would not be an issue if the city of Nashua at its particular time continued, they purchased the land on Thornton Road to build a fire station. Yet that was turned into, the city never built on it, a fire station, obviously, and it was turned into a tot lot. So the thing is, again, I am not against Old 20, Old 12. That seems to be single family type of home. But the same is true on Old 2013. And I would like to say I support this. I will vote for it with the Board of Aldermen, but with the usual caveat. Again, we've got to look at our infrastructure. Right now, if we can't be helping people in opioids because of the time spent on the particular issues, we may need to readdress our fire protection and to the potential occupancy of this particular area. Some of this development is in an area where it's difficult for fire apparatus to respond to. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to speak. Thank you.
Okay, Alderman Dowd.
Yes, that same reasoning is why I pushed to get the fire department their $50,000 to have the current study done to determine our coverage both in that section of Nashua and also in the southern portion where a lot of development's going on. As far as the response time right now, it's no different than any of the other many homes in the area. So it is not a difference in response time because of the new development. But if the study determines that the city should put a station at Thornton Road, the lot is there. There's nothing on it that can't be moved. It is a tot lot in the front part of it, but the lot's undeveloped and it is there for a future fire station. So just wanted to make that point.
Thank you, Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you. And I'm very supportive of Alderman Dow. What he says is true. I'm very much appreciative of him getting the new study done, working with Chief Rhodes on that. Yeah, the area there does have homes now, but what I'm talking about is the potential. When you have more, you have the odds increase of fires or accidents or other things. And what we need as a Board of Aldermen need to completely understand that Manchester has a population of roughly about 120,000, 112,000 people at 35 square miles with 10 engine companies and 4 ladder companies. The city of Nashua has square mileage of approximately almost 32 square miles with a population of approximately over 90,000 people. That's Manchester has 4 more engine companies with 20,000 people than currently the city of Nashua. Again, I'm not against this, but I would really, my intention here this evening is to open up the debate. The firefighters have been right with the contract negotiation. The can has been kicked down the road for 32 years. It's time to stop kicking the can. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman?
I'll go to Alderman Cleaver first, then Alderman Clemmons.
Thank you.
I'm just like to ask who owns the property? Who are the owner of the property involved?
Attorney Prunier, did you hear that? Can you give us an indication on who owns the property currently?
One of them owns a small piece over on Amherst Street. It's GMAC Properties, and the one on Amherst Street. Hold on a second, I just look at the application. That is correct. It's Tinker Road Development LLC.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Alderman Clemmons, do you have a question?
Yeah, more of a comment. So, and maybe a question. So right now, I completely agree with what Alderman O'Brien was saying about making sure that as we develop these areas, especially particularly in the north end off of Amherst Street, in Manchester Street, that we are looking at the fire department's ability to service that area. I believe, and I've been saying and advocating for years, that on Thornton and Deerwood Drive, there's a connection that goes down to basically through sort of the northern part of the airport and connects down with what I believe is Airport Road or Perimeter Road down there. And right now it's a gravel road and it's gated access. And the fire department doesn't like to go down there because it ruins their apparatus. However, if that was paved and the fire department had access to that, that could potentially cut down the time that it takes for a company from the airport fire department to get to those properties in question, as well as other properties that are further out on Amherst Street, because there would be no obstruction or traffic. They wouldn't have to, go here or there to get there. So, I'm wondering if this legislation could, because one of the things that the city also has is a lack of funding problem. And I'm wondering if this is something that if these developers want to develop this property, that they could contribute to something like paving that road so that we could help the fire department have better access to some of these areas on Amherst Street. I don't know if that has been looked into at all, or if it was discussed with this or with the fire department.
So I'll say that I don't think right now, nothing has come before the planning board because, obviously the developer is looking for this zoning change before they propose anything. I'm not sure that the planning board has the authority to require that sort of contribution. I see Alderman Dowd would like to speak on the topic as well.
Yeah, two things. One, I don't think that the way our laws are structured, that we'd be allowed to have them pay for a road that's nowhere near their property. I think we can make them do things on their property and to adjacent roads if necessary, but I think if you check with Attorney Bolton, that wouldn't be allowed. The other thing is that I've talked to the fire department many times concerning that road that was mentioned, and they don't want to use it for a number of reasons. And I'm not sure that currently the way the airport's structured, they want them to use it either, because they would have to go through a minimum of 2 gates, and the fire department hates gates. As Alderman O'Brien, I'm sure can tell you, gates slow them down significantly. And I know that because I was the chairman of the airport authority. I know that gate out towards Amherst Street takes forever to open. It would be faster to go down Sharon Avenue unless there was an accident. But to pave that for the occasional use, to me, would be a waste of money.
Well, if I could just respond, first of all, the street is that is an adjacent street if you look at the map. And secondly, in fact, it's a continuation of the same street. And secondly, the other portion of that, and probably the more important portion of that, is we need to think outside of the box in regards to how we are going to get more fire coverage to the city. Now, you could say, okay, we can build a new fire station off of the same road, but the issue is that if we were to do that, now you've got to pay for the firefighters to staff it. And then you have to buy the apparatus that goes along with it. And then you've got to maintain that apparatus forever. So we could pave a road, get gates that are faster than the ones that are there, or we could build a new fire station and it would cost, millions of dollars. We need to think outside of the box is my point. And I'm not sure that the city of Nashua can do much more development like this in the future if we're not going to be willing to look at solutions for these types of things moving forward. Thank you.
Any further discussion on 02012? Okay, seeing none, I will have the clerk please call the roll on the motion for final passage.
Alderman Tenza,
Yes.
Alderman Schmidt,
Yes.
Alderman Lopez isn't here, Alderman Clemmons,
Yes.
Alderman Laws, yes. We have 4 yeas.
And that passes. That ordinance passes. Next on the agenda is 02013, amending the zoning map by rezoning land off Amherst Street from Park Industrial to Park Industrial with mixed-use overlay district. Alderman Laws, I will ask for a motion on this ordinance as well.
Thank you, Chairman. I make a motion for final passage of 02013 by roll call.
The motion is for final passage. Any discussion on 02013? Alderman Dowd.
Yes, this particular change in zoning is incorporated with the thinking from the Community Development Division. Again, at several meetings with Director Marchand. This zoning would probably happen when the master plan is done, but that's not anytime soon. And I've been involved with the zoning on Amherst Street for the last 25 years since I was chairman of the zoning board. And we did a similar one of these, and it's worked out quite well, closer down towards Sharon Avenue. The overlay allows for use of the property without having to go through all of the time and expense of going through the different boards to get something that's automatically going to be approved anyway, because the history is there of the prior approvals. But this overlay gives the community development director and the division much more latitude on approving projects within this district in a timely manner.
Thank you. Any further questions or discussions on 02013? Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Much what I said earlier applies to this, to 2013 as well. So to save and expedite the meeting, I'm not going to get heavily into it. But this is an area that is difficult for the Amherst Street Company to get up, and also too for the airport company. And I would just like to keep in mind, it's not so much getting the first two there, but when you got a fire, that means you're all alone. And when you're all alone, you're less effective. And that's when you need somebody to get you water, a water supply into operation. And so therefore, again, this is why they came up with the 4-minute rule. So it's the same thing. I'm not against this. I'll support it when it comes to the full board. However, again, my intention here is to start the conversation that has been negated for 32 years. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Alderman Dowd.
I'll state for the record right now, if the study comes back and says that we should have a station on Thornton Road, I'll be the first one to sponsor the bond to build it and outfit it. 'Cause I live right near there.
Any further questions or comments? Hey, I'll just mention too, as a member of the planning board, that any site plan for these properties will go before the planning board again. Any site plan will be reviewed by the fire department and the fire marshal's office. And so there'll be another opportunity for these issues to be raised, both with the study, the fire study that should be coming out this year, and the site plan review through the planning board process. So seeing no other questions or comments, I'll ask Alderman Laws to please call the roll.
Alderman Tenza.
Yes.
Alderman Schmidt.
Yes.
Alderman Lopez is not here. Alderman Clemmons.
Yes.
And Alderman Laws votes yes. We have 4 yeas, 0 nays.
And that ordinance passes. There is nothing tabled in committee. Any general discussion from members of the committee?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Alderman Clemmons.
Can you give us an update as to when, and maybe I should know this, so apologize if it's already been announced, but when is the next meeting for the umbrella ordinance coming up?
It will be, I believe it's June 29th. We had hoped to do it much sooner. However, with the requirements for public notice and the Telegraph not printing a daily paper, we're limited to putting notices in only on the Sunday paper. For whatever reason, we looked into trying to do it the Union Leader. That wouldn't work out per Corporation Council. So towards I believe it's Monday, the 29th, we'll hold the public hearing and meeting on the umbrella ordinance.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other, Alderman Dowd?
Or Attorney Prunier, do you know which full Board of Aldermen meeting this will be brought up at? Is it going to be at the next one on the 23rd?
I can answer. I'm not sure Attorney Prunier would know that, but I believe it will be.
For his benefit, to get the date that he has to be there.
If I were Attorney Prunier, I would be there on the 23rd. I'm sure it'll be on the agenda, which comes out on Friday. Any other general discussion? Remarks by Alderman? Seeing none. No need for a non-public session. Alderman Laws, would you like to make a motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to adjourn by roll call.
Okay, the motion is to adjourn. Any discussion? If you could please call the roll, Alderman Laws?
Alderman Tenza,
Yes.
Alderman Schmidt,
Yes.
Alderman Clemmons,
Yes.
and Alderman Laws says yes. 4 yeas, 0 nays.
The meeting is adjourned at 7:50 PM. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.